All right, man. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and I am confusion. For real, I am confusion, man. I woke up this morning, I'm thinking, you know what? It's Canada Day. First and foremost, happy Canada Day to all my Canadians out there. You know what I'm saying? So I woke up this morning, and I'm like, it's Canada Day. I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to vibe. You know what I'm saying? Then I decided to go on the forum and boom, out of nowhere, the July update details, the patch notes for update 5.2 actually got released a day early. So I'm actually hours behind on the release of this video. Netmarble, what is y'all doing? You know what? I guess I shouldn't even be complaining. Early patch notes mean early update. So yeah, I'm with it. I guess they want everybody to get their hands on the new characters and play the new legendary battle before they actually see the movie, just in case, so that way they don't spoil anything. And that's good, right? So the update is actually going to be coming a day early, and I'm happy with it, but I'm kind of sad that I'm so late on the patch notes. Anyways, man, there's a lot of stuff to cover, so I'm not gonna keep rambling. Let's go ahead and check this thing out, man, because I'm actually very excited, because out of nowhere, Netmarble hit us with a uniform for one of my favorite characters in this game. So yeah, boys, 3 new characters, 4 new uniform. Unfortunately, no new uniform for a friendly neighborhood bank robbery. You know what I'm saying? No new uniform for Sandman. And just as I figured, they decided to give basically all of the Sinister Six they're level 70 and nothing else. I'm just too sad about it, right? Anyways, man, 3 new characters, obviously. Hydro Man, Molten Man, and Electro. And then 4 new uniforms, 2 for Spider-Man, 1 for Spider-Man 29, and now my boy Miguel O'Hara coming back on the scenes. I am too happy. I can't wait. I really cannot wait to see just how much more of a badass Miguel is going to be, because Miguel was a beast, dog. He was a beast when he first came in, and he was a beast for a good while, especially in PvP, but his PvE potential was very low. He was ABX meta for a little while, but besides that, he wasn't really good in PvE. So I'm hoping that Netmarble realizes that that's what he needs. He needs more damage for PvE, and I can't wait to see what a level 70 Woo! Miguel O'Hara looks like in 2019. I'm just so happy. Funny thing is, I have a good amount of bios saved for him because I was planning for the white suit. I'm so happy, man. Anyways, and obviously, there's a uniform for Mysterio and Tier 3 for Doctor Strange. So confirm, boys, it's Tier 3 Doctor Strange. It's not a misdirection. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it wasn't Mysterio playing dress up. It's actually a Doctor Strange Tier 3 and a legendary battle coming in. They're also making some really big improvements to Urus. And one thing that I thought they would never do, well, I guess I didn't think they would ever do it. I was hoping they would never do it. They finally are going to start doing it in this update. They're going to start selling Urus. And I'm upset about that. I'm actually very upset about that, because Urus was the only thing in this game that you could not buy. You could only earn it. You could farm it from missions, and there are a couple other things in the game that you could do that would give you Urus, but you actually had to earn it. You couldn't throw money at it, right? Urus weren't that big a part of the game for a lot of people, but still, it was a very big part of the game. And the fact that they're gonna start selling it now, it's quite annoying. And in addition to that, they're bringing a new type of Uru, which is probably going to be the CTP/premium card version of Uru, titled Odin's Blessing. It's probably going to be pretty OP, and the fact that they can, oh my goodness, the fact that people can buy these things is just slowly transitioning this game to where people will definitely like have visual proof and like obviously in-game like accurate proof that yes, this game is slowly becoming pay to win. It's sad, really sad, right? Hopefully these things aren't super OP broken, because that's gonna be really annoying. Then they're gonna talk about a training mode for a world event. I wish there was a training mode for more than just world event, but it's really nice that they're doing this simply because of the fact that sometimes you see some really wonky world event teams and you don't know if you have enough DPS to actually complete world event, not even complete it, because you can run down the clock and complete it that way, but I mean score over 1 million. That way you get the maximum amount of rewards. So it looks like this training mode is going to give you some hands-on time before you actually jump in and actually play with these characters. That way you don't waste an entry for a team that doesn't have enough DPS or survivability to score over 1 million. So this is good, right? But I would like to see a training mode for multiple different game modes. Anyways, let's move on. We got the 3 new characters. First up, we got Molten Man. He's a free-to-play character, but you can buy him from the premium hero chest. Definitely don't do that. Use your Shadowland selectors on him. And honestly, I'm kind of sad. I was hoping that he would be more. He's definitely not going to be better than Minerva, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. His leadership is a defensive leadership, and he has a 70% chance to be immune to fire. It's crazy that he has a higher chance to be immune to the element that he is than somebody like Iceman. Iceman only has a 40% chance. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense, man. Anyways, moving on, we have Fiery Rage, which gives him some increased skill damage and bonus damage. Right, then we have a decrease the damage received by 25%. Then whenever he uses Lava Flow, he gets a 100% chance to be immune for 5 seconds. I'm not really sure if I like the comeback that Netmarble was trying to do for these tier 2 passives that offer immunity when you use a skill. This is like what we saw in like 2016, 2017. Stuff like we have on Scourge and Carnage, where when they use like their 5th skill, they give themselves invincibility, but that's only when you get into tier 2. So I'm not really liking this too much, right? But it is what it is. Most people are gonna get him to tier 2 just because you can easily farm him from Shadowland selectors, right? He also has paralysis and stun. That's whatever. He can decrease enemies' fire resistance. Should be interesting to see if that actually applies in World Boss, because lately we've gotten a couple elemental characters, like for example on Nebula's uniform, you can actually apply that like lightning decrease to bosses, and that will boost their damage. Be interesting to see if you can do the same thing with a Molten Man. And then he can actually increase his character size, which also increases his damage, kind of like Giant Man with his enlarge buff, right? So this is Lava Flow. The cooldown time on this thing is incredibly long, 20 seconds, which means with max skill cooldown, this will be down to 10 seconds, which means every 10 seconds you can be immune to 5 seconds. So if he doesn't have at least 2 iframes, he's not going to be that safe, and he has no healing in his kit. Overall, I think he's going to be a decent villain, you know what I'm saying? Better than somebody like Rhino, if you're just going to compare other combat supervillains that are in the Sinister Six category, right? But I don't think he's going to be a top tier character. It's yeah, it's actually interesting that he gets another fire decrease debuff here, and then he gets a massive 20%. Hopefully this goes up to like 30%, that'd be cool. And he gets some crit rate buff here. Overall, he looks decent, right? But we need to see his skills. If he doesn't have enough survivability because of the fact that you can only be immune for 5 seconds every 10 seconds, he might actually not be that good. Well, that's wait and see. Next up, we have another free-to-play character in Hydro Man. You can get him from Shadowland selectors or in the processor. Just use your Shadowland selectors on him. He's immune to bleed and fracture, but his leadership is physical defense. Trash, pure trash. Anyways, you're never gonna use this. Pretty much, well, immunity to bleed, immunity to fracture. Immunity to fracture could be something that's meta for timeline battle, but why would you give up debuff removal for immunity to fracture? You know what I'm saying? No. I don't see this being used at all ever, but I could be wrong, right? I often am. Anyways, so he has a decent tier 2 passive here. Well, his 4-star passive is decent as well, but the 30% damage reduction is pretty nice, and there's a 45-45 for his increase to skill damage and bonus damage, and he can be enlarged similar to Giant Man. That's actually pretty good, right? I was hoping that his damage immunity would be longer. 3 seconds is kind of low. Hopefully this goes up to 5 seconds, right? Because there's an 18-second cooldown on this. So basically, if this doesn't move from 3 seconds, it means every 9 seconds with max skill cooldown, you can be immune for 3 seconds. That's not very good at all, right? So he's definitely going to need some iframes even with this guard, because the guard doesn't offer you much survivability and it doesn't have any healing, right? So if he only has 3 seconds of damage immunity and a 5-second guard, no, he's definitely not going to be meta, not in the slightest, not to me, right? He could probably score over, well, not probably, definitely score over 100k in ABX on the Blast supervillain day, right? But besides that, he's just going to be a Shadowland and a mid-tier world boss character from what I can see. But let's hope there's some iframes in there so his kit can actually mesh together really well. Then we have the obvious Paywall. And first off, I'm going to say I hate the fact that Netmarble decided to go with this look. I don't like this one at all. I was really hoping for the comic book version and not this one. Well, technically this one's in the comic, but I don't like this one. You know what I'm saying? I don't like this one personally. I would have liked it if they even gave him a uniform. Well, hopefully, since this is his base, maybe they'll give us the other look, right, as a uniform later in the future. That's all I can hope for. But man, I don't like this look at all. I'm just saying, right? I'm gonna play with it. I'm gonna have fun because I like Electro, but like, I don't like this one. All right, so next up is the leadership. Leadership is looking decent. It's looking decent. But let's see if it goes up by 1%. So it could go all the way up to 20, 20, 20, or it could go up to like 50, 30, 20. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see how this leadership turns out, because it could be really, really powerful for other members of the Sinister Six, or it could just be like something like the Wasp. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to say the Wasp leadership isn't useful. It's definitely useful, but that's just because Wasp is a pretty useful PvP character, right? So this could actually be useful. We just have to wait and see. So 70% chance to be immune to lightning, increase the dodge rate, lightning damage increase. It's a decent 4-star passive, no doubt. And then his tier 2 passives offering guaranteed dodge, extra skill damage, and bonus damage. That's solid. I'm looking forward to seeing at least 2 iframes in this guy's kit. Can't wait to see the live stream later. So that's going to be interesting. We got some stun action. We got some lightning decrease, some shock damage, a 2-hit guard for 3 seconds. That's not very good. Not very good at all, right? So moving forward, we don't really see too much. The accumulation on his fort is nice. We have some shock damage here, some decrease to all speed, increase to his own attack, but yeah, like I'm not really seeing too much that's like looking like a meta defining like quality for this guy. So yeah, unless he has a lot of iframes that you can chain together back to back, I am kind of worried about just how good he's going to be, right? The fact that he's a speed villain, though, he might actually be better than Korath, and that's actually good or bad depending on how you look at it, right? If he ends up being a pretty safe character to play and he has more damage than Korath, we could be looking at a new speed supervillain for ABX. So that's actually good or bad depending on where you stand. If you're free to play and you care about ABX, you shouldn't care about ABX, right? Because ABX is not for free-to-play players at this point. It's all about the big boys, right? Just enjoy getting that 100K and just call it a day, right? So he may actually surpass Korath. We'll just have to wait and see how that thing turns out. Next up, we got the 4 uniforms that we spoke on earlier. All 4 are premium uniforms, and of course, Spider-Man has a synergy suit. I'm saying both of them look awesome, right? I'm definitely gonna get all of them, right? I'm not sure which one I'm gonna play with the most between Spider-Man, like the normal or the stealth suit, but I know for damn sure I'm gonna be playing with both of them, and I'm so happy to see my boy Miguel. I was really wondering when we would see him get this uniform, and I was really looking forward to like him finally making his debut in the MCU, but that's like a long way off at this point. But like, damn, man. And I was hoping for a better uniform bonus, to be honest, when I seen that he was getting one. So I was like, but whatever, 10% increase to super villain types. It's all good. It should be interesting to see just how much better he gets for PvP specifically, because that Lila buff, bro, is actually really, really annoying. But Mysterio's uniform, dog, this could actually be like the best uniform of the update. Seriously, 25% chance to penetrate shield and all damage immunity and invincibility. Damn, right? That's actually crazy. A flat 25% chance that's always there whenever he uses any skill. That's legit, boys. A 50% increase to all attacks. 50%. And this is a premium uniform. So that's 50 on top of the 25 that you're gonna have when you get this uniform to Mythic. So that's 75% more attack. He definitely needed a big attack buff, man, because his skills dealt literally no freaking damage, dog. So this is actually really, really good. And then a 66% decrease, a 66% decrease to damage. My goodness, boys, 66 on top of the 25. That's a lot. Ooh, Mysterio might actually be a badass after the end of this update, boys. And it's good that he stays a villain, so he could actually be better than a tier 3 Magneto. We'll just have to wait and see for ABX, okay? We'll have to wait and see, man. All right, so moving on, we have the 10 new characters that can get to level 70, yada, yada, yada. And then we got my boy Steven. Oh, my goodness. I'm definitely getting Steven to tier 3. I am so happy, yo. This skill looks so sick, dog. I love it. I freaking love it. Yeah. So Steven's getting a tier 3 this update. That's 100% guaranteed, depending on how. No. Doesn't matter how much like damage this skill does. It's happening just because of how cool the animation looks, right? Straight out of freaking Infinity War. So definitely gonna happen. And then depending on how good Spider-Man's uniform makes him, he may actually be my second tier 3 from this update. Definitely gonna get Steven a tier 3. Definitely gonna do that. But yeah, man, the stats, could be better. I was hoping for a better attack buff, like 80% would be nice, because he really needs to hit super hard. And he has some decrease to all defense here. It says it stacks up to 60%, but it's a flat 60%, and it has me thinking that this thing could just be like Wolverine's, where it doesn't apply in World Boss Ultimate, and it's more of a PvP type skill. You know what I'm saying? When enemies don't have debuff removal. So we'll just have to wait and see how this thing goes. But overall, it looks like a solid thing, man. And it has that time freeze on it for 1 second and 40% damage increase for 2 hits. That's actually solid. So you can use a tier 3 and then use like Demons of Danak to follow up, and you still get that damage buff. So Steven's looking like he's gonna be solid. 10 seconds of invincibility. That's nothing to shake a candle at, right? So yeah, man, Steven's looking solid and I'm loving it. So yeah, legendary battle, standard. You're gonna get a 6-star Mysterio from that. The rewards are pretty basic. It doesn't get juicy until you get to the Extreme Edition. And then when you get to the Extreme Edition, right there, boys, CTP selector. But you need to shell out a lot of moolah if you want to get Spider-Man to type 6. Yo, I have no character at type 6. And these guys are definitely going to keep doing this. They're definitely going to keep making it so that to get the CTP, whatever CTP it is, right, whether it's Rage or a CTP selector, it's a type 6 enhancement that is required, because they know that makes them the most amount of money. The whales are going to go into the, you see, that's the thing. It's probably even cheaper to literally go blow your crystals and buy a CTP when there's a chance up than getting a character to type 6, because you have to spend so much energy, so much time, so much of your actual crystals to collect the type enhancement kits, right? And all that stuff to get the character to type 6 just to get a CTP. Like, think about it that way. You have to spend so much time and money to get one CTP when you could literally spend like way less time and all that money on the CTP chest gambling and get a seat. Like, I don't know where Netmarble was coming from with this, bro, but they can miss me with that. For real, I'm not gonna like specifically try for it. You know what I'm saying? If my Spider-Man ends up at type 6 at some point, that'd be great, and I'll collect this. But I'm not gonna go out of my way and try to make a mad dash to get a CTP selector that's gonna cost me like over like $200 in terms of like gambling for type enhancement kit and all that nonsense. Like, Netmarble needs to cut it out, man. And then we have the new Uru upgrade system, which is pretty awesome, because now you can combine 2 Urus of a different type and you can upgrade the Uru that way. Pretty cool. They're also removing some of the materials that are required, actually all of the materials that are required, so that will save you guys norm stones and all that stuff. What I want to know is, can you still fail when you're upgrading Urus from like 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6? Can you still fail? If you can still fail, that's still a problem, but this is a step in the right direction, no doubt. You also, when you combine mythic Urus, you have a chance, not a guarantee, obviously, because everything in this game is RNG. Netmarble makes the most money off of RNG, right? So taking your resources and giving you nothing in return for it is something that Netmarble is a pro at. They're professionals at it, right? So there's a chance to get this new thing called Odin's Blessing. Like I mentioned earlier, this is probably probably going to be the Uru version of CTPs and premium comic cards. There's a bunch of different versions of them, right? And let me actually just jump over here to the probability chart, and right down here you can see that there's a strike version, a balanced version, a toughness version, a steel version, a resist version, a magic, a will, a focus, an amplifier, fortitude, a heal, and insight. No idea what any of that does, right? But those are the types of Odin's blessing that you can receive. It's funny how they're putting Odin's name in the mix, but they still haven't even looked at making him much better than he currently is in the game. So there's not really too much I can say right now about Odin's blessing. It's going to be interesting to see what it is and what it does, right, once the update goes live. But I'm liking the fact that they changed up the Uru system a little bit. There's also a couple changes to the alliance check-in. So depending on the amount of people that check in, you get a better amount of gold and a better supply chest, right? It's gonna be interesting to see the consistency of the rewards that's inside there, but I'm expecting to just get dimension debris and gear up kits like I've been getting most of the time, right? You can also now pay to remove Urus. I knew this day was coming, and I figured it was going to be for crystals. So it's finally here, guys. You can now pay for Urus in the shop, and you can also pay to remove them if you have them equipped, right? So there's not really too much here that's very important that really needs discussing, right? I was actually hoping for a Sandman uniform and some reworks for other members of the Sinister Six. You can also now pay crystals to upgrade. Couldn't you already do this? I think you could already do this. Maybe they're just now adding it for tier 2 natives. I don't know. But this is never a good thing. I would never use my crystals to upgrade a character's gears from 15 to 20 or even from 20 to 25. And that's the most costly. If I wouldn't do it, if I wouldn't spend crystals to upgrade a character's gears from 20 to 25, when tier 3 materials literally cost money, like, sure, you can get them from World Boss Ultimate, right? But outside of that, you actually have to spend money to get it in the shop. Black Antimatter, that's in abundance. Black Antimatter, Chaos Normstone, that's in basically infinite supply for somebody like me once you've been playing long enough. Phoenix Feather, there's an argument to be made there just because there's a cap on it, right? But if I wouldn't spend crystals to upgrade a character's gears from 15 to 20, there's no way under the sun that I would spend crystals. No, not a chance, bro. Also, guys, don't do this. Don't be one of the people who actually waste. There's probably gonna be 2,500 crystals to get these guys. Do not buy this. These are free to play characters, and I'm saying don't buy Hydro Man, don't buy Molten Man. Don't waste your crystals, okay? There's also a change right here to the Tony Stark supply chest. Never bought this thing, right? Not gonna buy it still, but it's once a month now for those of you guys who actually think this is a good deal. So yeah, there was also a change to Betsy's uniform. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what this does, because if it nerfs her damage or her survivability in any way, I'm gonna be pissed. Right? There's also a few more changes here to people like Wasp, Captain America, and some X-Men relay stuff, but it is what it is, man. I'm not gonna keep you guys too long here. The update is gonna be about 4 or 5 hours after this video drops anyway, so it's gonna be interesting to get my hands in the dirt, in the mud, mold these characters, and see just what they can do. I am looking forward to it, boys. But leave me your thoughts in the comments. How are you guys feeling overall in regards to the patch notes? And let me know what you guys think is missing, because I'm kind of sad. You know what I'm saying? Sandman uniform, I was really looking forward to Sandman getting something. But it is what it is, man. Don't forget, guys. Don't let these guys forget. In about 2 weeks, the bill will be due, right? Them endgame reworks. they better have something special planned for us, man. But I'll catch you guys later on today, because it's gonna be lit tonight, boys. It's gonna be lit, that's for damn sure.